Hello, everyone. It's the Tuesday edition of Daily Betslip. It's myself. It is Reed Wallach. By the way, if you missed earlier today, Reed Wallach had the early read with Chris Felica. Check that out after the show. Great episode. I tuned in for it. It was great stuff for college football bowl season. But on this show, we are going to talk a lot of college basketball. We have 6 college basketball picks, 3 from each of us. Game of the night is Warriors Bucks. We're going to talk NFL Week 15, early picks for that, and of course community picks as always. Reed, how are you doing?
Good. Yeah, exciting show. Chris Felica, the Bear from College Game Day, he was on the early reads. That was great, breaking down some bowl season, talking about the art of bowl season because it's kind of a cluster right now, a cluster F. So with guys opting out, there was a player, a quarterback for Western Kentucky, Austin Reed. He opted out last week. The line went from, I think, South Alabama -2.5, all the way out to 8. He's now back. He decided to pull his name out of the portal. So he's on track to play now this weekend or middle of next week. So the line's now back towards 4. So there's a special science to betting bowl season. So it was great to hear from a legend like the Bear about it. So, yeah, it was a great show, and happy Tuesday. I think we'll get to it in best bets, but I think I'm back-to-back 3-0s on my Tuesday college basketball bet. So that's 6-0, I think. And don't think I forgot that Illinois had that comeback win against Texas last week at the hands of yours truly and at the hands of the community.
Yes. That was a where was I? Oh, I was my indoor golf league. I was watching that in the background. And yeah, I do remember that. You were on the right side of it. My college basketball season has not been so hot. Still got a lot left to go though.
Too much left to go.
I'm
not full go yet because college football still, but I'm off to a solid start. I had my first Saturday loaded card, and Arizona was my biggest play against Indiana, and they cashed. So I ended up decent, but still not in a rhythm yet. But these Tuesdays have been good to me.
One sport I am profitable in is the NHL. No picks that I'm going to give out on the show today, but I did tweet out my article on FanSided, which is my 3 best bets for tonight. That's on my Twitter feed, or you just go to FanSided, check it out if you want my NHL plays. This show, just 3 college basketball plays for me, 3 college basketball plays for you, and then we both got to play for game of the night. Warriors, Bucks, but first, as always, we've got to dive into community picks. A lot of great picks. Actually, a ton of picks sent in today. We're not able to look at all of them, but we got 5 of them that we want to go through. So let's dive right into those. Let's bring up the first one if we can. Cody Wells, who I believe sent in a winner yesterday. I forget who it is off the top of my head, but he gave us a winner yesterday. Let's see if he can get us 2 straight here. He's on NC State -6.5 against Furman. He says both offenses are excellent, but Furman ranks sub 300 in opponent effective field goal percentage, opponent 2-point field goal percentage, and opponent 3-point field goal percentage. Also, Furman's offensive output decreases a bit on the road, while NC State's is better at home. Read any thoughts for NC State and Furman?
Yeah, I lean towards the NC State side. I had Miami against NC State over the weekend, and NC State was up 17 early. They looked great. They kind of ran out of gas on the road. It's tough conference play. And Miami went on an extended 20-4 run that just sucked the life out of them. But NC State, a decent team. They're going to be a frisky team come conference play, in ACC play. I just want to double check. I don't is this do they have someone on deck that might kind of take their attention away? Because Furman, they're a feisty bunch. I know it's strong offensive lines. Let's see. NC State, they play this weekend. They play Vandy on a neutral on Saturday, so I don't think you're going to catch NC State looking ahead here. This NC State offense should be able to get whatever they want against Furman's defense. So I like NC State as well. Great points by Cody.
All right, love it. Let's move on to the next play here, which is another college basketball pick. Beers and bow ties at Cheese Grater 23. How about that for a Twitter name? Citadel team total over 60. They have hit this in every game, with 69 being the lowest. I see 70 points going against the Tar Heels' poor defense. This is coming from a Tar Heel fan also. Citadel going up against the UNC Tar Heels tonight. They've gone over the team total every game so far this season.
Yeah, the key to this one is just pace. And UNC loves to play fast. And I thought it was funny. UNC, just going back to last year, anecdotally, I didn't like them at all going into the tournament. I mean, the talent was always there, but this was a team that completely underplayed to expectations all the time during the regular season. But then, you caught lightning in a bottle, you get a favorable draw, all of a sudden you're in the national championship game. You're playing tight with Kansas, almost coming down the net. So to see them come in as like the preseason #1 team because they just returned everyone, that was like a complete overreaction. In my opinion, I was fading them as I could, like season long wise. Defense just isn't there. I mean, they don't force turnovers. I think Citadel's going to be able to get enough possessions here to get into the 70s as well. UNC might flirt with like 95 because they still have a like dynamite offense with Caleb Love and all that. But I don't hate this team total over. Unique look by Beers and Bowties.
Can we bring up that tweet again? I must have misread it. They have hit this in every game, with 69 being the lowest.
But they're playing like a step up in competition.
But they have not hit this in every game.
They have not?
They've scored 57 their last game, 42 against Butler earlier in the year.
They do go over it.
They go over it more often than not, yes. But
yeah. Oh, now I'm seeing under in 2. Under, they lost 89-42 at Butler. Jeez. And then they lost last time out to Charleston, 79-57. But besides that, I'm reading.
They have gone over that total quite a bit. I guess a D2 team, but 109 points against Morris College.
Yeah, no, but they definitely are a willing customer. I mean, UNC's defense isn't going to give up. I mean, just the possessions, let's go Beers and Bowties. Get it home.
I like it. Citadel team total over 6.
You may have lied to us, but it's okay.
That's okay. I'm going to assume it wasn't on purpose. I'll forgive you for it. Let's bring up the next community pick. We're getting into some hockey now. Chips at Chips Picks Dailies, who's been giving us a ton of winners on the show. Capitals 3-way money line. It is the Washington Capitals. Beers and Bowties chimes in. My apologies. I forgive you. To be fair, it was only 2. It was all but 2. So I'm willing to.
You were in the right. You were in the right headspace.
Yes. Capitals 3-way money line from Chips here. The Blackhawks are in every night fade situation. Yes, they are. They've been terrible lately. They're 1-10-1 in their last 12 games. They ranked 32nd in Corsi percentage and scoring chance percentage during that span with a cool 89.4 save percentage. Caps have won 4 straight and show 58.36 expected goals percentage during that span. Yeah, the Capitals have been a little bit of a tricky team. That's why I'm not betting this, because they've been very hot and cold. There are some nights the Capitals look absolutely terrible. But if you want to make this play just as a straight fade of the Blackhawks, I like it. Like you said, 1-10-1 in their last 12 games. The Blackhawks were supposed to be tanking this season, but they actually got off to the year at a pretty hot start, but that has obviously come crashing down. And Patrick Kane looks like will probably be dealt before the trade deadline. So
really?
Blackhawks pretty good.
After all these years?
Well, I mean, they're
end of an era.
They have to scrap that organization and start from scratch. So
I mean, Patrick Kane, he must have been on this team for what, 15 years?
Yeah, his whole career, right? Some might call him the greatest American hockey player of all time.
Wisconsin alum.
Is he a Wisconsin guy?
I think, but there's a story about him getting into a fight at a Wisconsin party. So I think he was an alum, but maybe he was just visiting from Chicago.
Him punching a cab driver in the face too. I'm pretty sure.
Patrick Kane, America's sweetheart.
He's been on the Blackhawks since 07-08.
Wow.
Won a few cups. Won a gold medal with the States. No, he did back in the World Juniors, though. So Patrick Kane probably gone here soon. Blackhawks are a complete fade. They're absolutely trash. It's them and the Coyotes are the worst 2 teams in the NHL. Coyotes somehow still find ways to win some games, though. So I like it if you're just fading it. I'm going to stay away, though, just because I don't fully trust the Capitals, even against a team that's bad like the Blackhawks. But I certainly wouldn't be betting on the Blackhawks either. It's a stay away from me. All right, next community pick. I think we have another. Yes, we do. Hurricanes. This comes in from Pie Bets. Best Pie Bets. Hurricanes 3-way money line against the Red Wings. I like this play, but I'm just sticking money line. This is one of my plays in my NHL Best Bets article earlier today. The odds have gone up. I think I might have got it at a good number. I got it at -155. It's up to -175. So now, I mean, if you don't want to lay the juice, do 3-way money line. But every time I bet 3-way money lines and puck lines this season, it hasn't worked out. I'd rather just eat the juice, especially with it being on the road. But yeah, Hurricanes a much better team, leading the NHL in Corsi percentage. Red Wings are pretty close to the bottom. I will say about the Hurricanes, though, their shooting percentage has caused some issues. That's really the only thing they're not doing well this year is they're not finding the back of the net on a lot of their shots, and it's causing them to lose games that they outplay their opponent. So that is a little bit of a concern for mine for Carolina. I think they'll right that ship sooner rather than later, and hopefully they will tonight. But even though I'm on the Hurricanes, I wouldn't be shocked if they outshoot the Red Wings by 20 and still find a way to either take it overtime or somehow lose the game. But I like it. Like I said, I'm on Hurricanes, just straight up money line. But if you want to get more aggressive, three-way money line is probably the way to do it. I'm just trying to look at their goaltending. Ville Husso for the Red Wings, Pyotr Kochetkov for the Hurricanes.
Is there like I think I've asked you this before, but like goaltending, is there like I know with baseball, like the pitcher gets first the pitcher's like usually announced the day before and stuff, like when it's like a little bit closer to game time. Is there like a Twitter account that tweets those out? Is there like the beat reporters say like, oh, it's like MacMillan and net tonight? Like, is there like what's the process of finding out who's starting in net?
I'm sure there probably is a Twitter account that I'm going to find and follow.
Like, does someone tweet? Are they like? Does the team announce it like 90 minutes before the puck drops or whatever?
Yeah, different teams do it different ways. There's a website called Daily Faceoff, and like they have a page that's literally just starting goaltenders, and it has confirmed, likely, or unconfirmed.
Okay.
And that's what I use. They're pretty quick with updating that list as soon as it's announced. So
interesting. Not a market I dabble in, so I have no idea.
I'm sure there is a Twitter account out there. If someone has it, let me know, because yeah, that would be kind of useful. Especially if you want to get the best line possible on games, it could be good to get like a notification set up so you can bet on the odds before they shift when a goalie's announced. But yeah, that's interesting. So I mean, some teams don't announce it until right before puck drop, which is
interesting.
All right, I think we have one more community pick for tonight. Yes, we do. It is a college basketball, probably the game of the night in college basketball tonight. It is Memphis taking on Alabama, correct?
Yep, biggest game on the card. It's like a big card, but not. There's like 20 some odd games, 30 some odd games, but like there's not like a lot of marquee matchups. This is like the lulls of non-conference play now that like those mini tournaments are over. Yeah. I have a play on this game, so I'll leave this to you.
All right, and let's just jump into that right now then.
You want to give it out?
I didn't handicap this game. I know you had a pick for it. I didn't look at it at all, so I don't have anything to add, unfortunately. I'm interested to see which way you are going for this game. So why don't we just dive right into that? We have 6 college basketball plays. You start us off.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm going to take Memphis catching points, so I'm in full agreement here with this best bet. I think awesome spot to get the Tigers against the Crimson Tide, and I watched the entire Alabama game. I watched the Memphis game too, but I watched the Alabama-Houston game. Houston up double digits in the second half, really physical, taxing game. I mean, this is what you get when you play Houston. You're getting like there's an absolute rock fight. One of Houston's starting guards, Trayvon Mark, he fouled out with around like 8-9 minutes left. So Houston couldn't generate offense down the stretch, and Alabama pulled away. Very deserving win. Like, that's great. But you now got to turn around and face Memphis, who is almost a Houston light. They force a lot of turnovers. They're really physical. Great guard play with SMU transfer Kendrick Davis. And on the other side with Memphis, they just beat Auburn on a neutral court. It's like semi-neutral. It was in Tennessee, but beat Auburn, an SEC foe. So they come in with a lot of momentum, catching 7.5. That game against Auburn was a pick over the weekend. So I think Alabama's going to be a little taxed here. I don't trust them to win with margin either. You look at Alabama's offense, 295th in turnover margin. They don't turn you over either, 317th in turnover margin on defense. So not a lot going here for Alabama to win with margin. I think it's going to be another physical game, and I think Memphis is alive for the upset. But getting 7.5, I mean, give me a break. I think Tigers could keep this close against an Alabama offense that kind of tries to out-athlete you. They aren't like a sound, efficient offense. And Memphis has the defensive chops to hang with that, and Davis has been a fantastic guard in Penny Hardaway's offense. So I think he can keep this game close.
All right, I like it. So you're in agreement with the community pick, both of you, on Memphis plus 7.5 tonight. My first college basketball bet for tonight, I'm going back to a team that has been an early season darling for me. And actually, someone did send this in as a pick. I want to shout this person out. I didn't have this for a community pick on the show, but I'll shout them out since we're on the same side here. And this was sent in by Michael Griffin at Mr. Sports Center. leaving the T out of SportsCenter. 23. We're both on this side. It's UMass Lowell. I took them as underdogs last week.
This is a trendy pick today. I'm seeing this around
I know
around gambling Twitter.
Yes, if there was a chalky mid-major play tonight, it's this play, but I can't ignore some of these numbers, and I kind of owe them because they did cash for me as an underdog on the money line last week against UMass. But let's just even look at shooting numbers here. UMass Lowell 24th in the country, Rhode Island 336th in effective field goal percentage. So obviously different levels of competition, but we have one of the better shooting teams so far this season against truly one of the worst. Defensive efficiency 26 to 102nd. And both teams are in the top 55 in two-point shot rate. They don't really shoot a lot of threes, but Lowell's been much better at defending the two-point shot. 15th in opponent two-point field goal percentage. Rhode Island is 217th. The one thing you got to watch out for when betting on UMass Lowell is they do turn the ball over a ton. They're in the bottom 100 in turnovers, but so is Rhode Island. So they both suck in the same area, so a bit of a wash there for UMass Lowell's biggest weakness. So I don't know why this is only 1.5 point spread. I know it is a trendy pick. It's a popular pick, but sometimes the obvious pick is the right pick. I'll ride it and see what happens. Give me UMass Lowell minus 1.5 against Rhode Island.
All right. I will see your random bet and I'll raise you with another one. FIU laying, I think it's 4 now. FIU laying 4 against Howard. This is just like a complete mismatch when you look at the numbers. I know, FIU's going on the road. Why should they be laying points against Howard? These are two 500 or below clubs. But FIU's just the complete antithesis of Howard's offense. They're 17th in tempo this season. FIU also 5th in 2-point percentage. They get to the rim at will. They want to play fast. They want to play in the open court. And they also generate turnovers at a top 50 rate. Look at the other side for Howard. I mean, let's see. They're shooting 45% on twos. That's right around 300th in the nation. 31% on threes, also around 300th in the nation. I mean, this offense is terrible. And they also turn it over at a bottom 30 rate. So I don't really see Howard keeping up with this. FIU is going to run up and down the floor on them. So I know like you think like road team, bad team laying points, but Howard's awful. And FIU, I think that there's some like positive indicators there inside the numbers. So give me, what are they, the Panthers? Florida? Yeah, I think they're the Panthers. So give me them laying 4 at Howard. I think they win this one by double digits.
Double digits. Calling your shot on a 4-point spread. They are the Panthers. The FIU Panthers taking on the Howard Bison. The Bison. What state is Howard in?
Oh, God. Maryland?
I'm going to guess Delaware.
I know they play Georgetown all the time. Let me see. Oh, that was D.C. So, because they play Georgetown all the time.
Okay, that's Maryland, isn't it? Or is D.C. its own thing?
Like, D.C. is its own thing. I don't know, I won't give full credit, but I had the right idea.
All right, 0.5 point to you. All right, my next college basketball bet here. I'm going with a huge favorite. I'm going to take Boise State minus 24.5 against New Orleans. I think they're the Privateers. This is just a big fade of New Orleans. New Orleans absolutely stinks. 325th in defensive efficiency. Boise State is 14th. So you got one of the best defensive teams in the country against one of the worst. 358th in opponent effective field goal percentage, which is like 4th last. They can't hang on to the ball either. 261st in turnovers per possession. And their average scoring margin is minus 15.7, which is 342nd in the country. Now they've got to take on one of their toughest opponents this season in Boise State. So this is just a huge fade of the Privateers, I believe they are. Not much other than that, because Boise State's a good team, really good defensively, offensively. They don't have a lot to really write home about, but I don't think they should have much of an issue against this New Orleans team. So Boise State minus 24.5.
You've also seen their ability to win with margin this year, especially against not even bad teams, just subpar teams. Utah Valley, they beat by 28. Loyola Chicago, who is not the same this year, they beat by 22. So, I don't hate it at all. My last one, I think it's a good spot to back UNC Greensboro as a small home underdog. Fun fact, Mike D'Antoni's brother is the coach of Marshall. But Marshall's playing their 3rd road game since Thursday. And this is a UNC Greensboro team that is due for some positive regression. Looking at shot quality, which, it grades your shot profile, shots that go in, shots that you miss, and what you're supposed to be. They're analytical profile, they are the 17th unluckiest team based on the shots they take. So they're due for some shots to fall. You look at the other side, Marshall, the 15th luckiest team in the country. This is a 9-0 team with a statistical shot profile of 6-4 according to Shot Quality. So on the road, third game in 5 days? I think maybe you see some tired legs here in Greensboro. Really good defense, compact defense. I think they lock down the paint, and I'll take the bucket. I think that this is a tight game that Greensboro pulls away with. I think they are I don't know what they are.
Greensboro?
Yeah. For some reason, the first thing that came in my head was a Buccaneer or something, but there's no way that's it.
I thought it was like a Hornet or something.
Let's look it up. They are the
Spartans.
It wasn't even close. Not even close.
Marshall's
the bird, though.
Really Spartan. I don't know why we forgot that. What state is UNC Greensboro in?
North Carolina.
I know. It's just a joke.
What state is Marshall in, huh? No way you know this.
You don't think I know this?
No. I know what it is.
Are they in New York?
No. So far from.
Where are they from? Illinois?
No. I don't even think that's closer. West Virginia.
No, I never would have got that.
Yeah, you were never going West Virginia for Marshall.
All right, my last play here for college basketball. I just gave out a huge favorite. Now I'm going to take a huge underdog here. Texas A&M Corpus Christi.
Ooh, okay.
Plus 25.5 against Arizona. An Arizona team who I have a bet on to win the national championship. But they have kind of shown some weaknesses. One of them is their perimeter defense, 251st in opponent three-point field goal percentage. Teams are shooting 35.8% from beyond the arc against them. Now they take on a team that basically all they do is shoot the three-point shot. Texas A&M Corpus Christi, 6th highest three-point shot rate in the country. Also, I just think it's generally tough to cover a 25.5-point spread against a team that shoots so many threes because they hit 2-3 in a row. That cuts a lead pretty quick. If you're up by 30, the other team hits 3 threes in a row. That's cut down to 29, just like that. Some quick mental math there. Also, Arizona still has some issues turning the ball over. I think they're close to the bottom 100 in turnovers per possession. And Texas A&M Corpus Christi is not a good team, but they're not terrible. They're 117th in defensive efficiency, 113th in effective possession ratio. I think this spread's just a little bit too high here, so I will take the points with Texas A&M Corpus Christi.
Yeah, I wrote this up over on BetSided. I like the over, but you also think about it though. If I was taking a side, I would take Corpus Christi. I get a little nervous, like Arizona, like when they're cooking, like it's just they run you over. But they do play Tennessee over the weekend. Coming back from Vegas last weekend, Tennessee's coming to Tucson on Saturday. So maybe Tommy Lloyd pulls the starters a little early. Maybe it's the last 4 minutes are a little bit extra garbage time, and you could get inside this number. So if it was anything, it'd be Corpus Christi for me on the side. But I kind of like the over. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game.
I was going to make fun of their mascot because it's the Islanders, and I thought, how is the team from Texas the Islanders? But actually, when you look at their campus, it's not really an island, but it's kind of an island. Pretty far south in Texas. Interesting. All right, so there you have it. Those are our best college basketball bets for tonight's action. Let's go ahead and recap them. We went through 6 picks for tonight. I'm on UMass Lowell, -1.5 against Rhode Island, Boise State, -24.5 against New Orleans, and Texas A&M Corpus Christi, +25.5 against Arizona. Reed, you got Memphis, +7.5 in the game of the night for college basketball against Alabama. UNC Greensboro, +2 against Marshall and Florida International, FIU. The Panthers, -4 against the Howard Bison. Let's talk NFL Week 15.
Let's.
We got some early, or at least my bet's locked in. I don't know if yours just a lean or if you have it locked in as well. But we're in the final stretch. What do we got? 4 weeks left of NFL action. So things are getting tight in the playoff race. We got some early bets. You give us yours first.
Yeah, pretty simple. I haven't bet it yet just because I don't think there's a rush to get this one in just because like where the line is. I don't think you're really missing out on much. But Patriots -1 against the Raiders. Obviously, they play last night. Kyler Murray gets hurt. Not the prettiest game, but Patriots end up winning pretty convincingly. they're staying out west, obviously back-to-back road games. I already read an article that Schefter, I think, said it, like they're staying out west. I just think Bill Belichick versus Josh McDaniels, Patriots need to win. Like, I don't want to make it sound so simple, but I mean, what are we doing? Like the Raiders, they find ways to lose at all costs. I saw a number last week after they blew that game to the Rams, something along the lines of they were the first team since 1940 to be winning by double digits at halftime 4 different times and lose all 4 of them. So this is a team that you can't trust at any point to close out games. And the Patriots, say what you want, the defense is nails. They're number 1 in EPA per play. And, the play calling, Mac Jones gets a lot of flack. How about the play calling? Like, give the guy a chance. I actually don't think he's, like, atrocious. I think, like, maybe he's, like, middling to below average. But I don't know. I don't really trust this Raiders team at all. And I think the Patriots defense is the best unit on the field, and they can win this game. So, -1. I don't think this goes to 3, so I think there's really a rush to bet this. But I will have a bet on the Patriots.
Yeah, I like that play. The Patriots offense, they've looked already against bad defenses as well.
It feels like they
have a bad defense.
Yeah, but it feels like the Patriots. I can't even just recall the whole schedule because we're 13 games in, but it feels like they beat bad teams, and then when they play the Bills of the world or the Chiefs of the world, they get like kind of destroyed because their offense can't keep up. But when it's like this spot, like even last night, like I had a bet on the Patriots against the Cardinals before Kyler got hurt. Obviously, that's where I'm looking to back the Patriots when they're playing like-minded teams.
100%. I agree with that for sure. My best bet for this week, I do have this one locked in already, and it should come as a surprise to absolutely no one because I've been the biggest New York Jets stan out there amongst all non-Jets fans.
This might be the game of the weekend. I know the Giants Commanders is big for playoff implications, but this is shaping up for a big game. And I think I don't think it's supposed to snow this weekend, is it? Might be snowing in the New York area.
Is it in New York or is it in Detroit? I should know that.
No, it's in the Meadowlands, at the Meadowlands, however you say it. I know that, but I know there was supposed to be weather towards the end of the week. No, it's on Friday. But yeah, it's gonna be cold. But yeah, this is shaping up to be a good game. Tell me about the Jets, because I kind of lean your way too.
Well, I mean, the biggest difference in this game is the defense. You have arguably the best defense in the NFL going up against one of the worst defense in the NFL. So I don't think it's any question. You want to look at the Jets and defensively, they top 3, top 5 in just about every single stat you want to look at. Second in opponent yards per play. The Lions are dead last. So if you I know there's obviously a lot more to defense than just like yards per play metrics, but if you just look at that, then it's the second ranked team against the worst ranked team. So I think that's the biggest difference maker in this game. The Lions defense, 31st and third down defense, red zone defense, 30th. And I know a lot of people say the Lions have a better offense, and they probably do as a whole, but a lot closer than you might think. If you look over each of their last 3 games, they're both averaging the exact same amount of yards per play, 5.8. Now, I would admit the Lions' overall offense is better because I think they're actually first in red zone offense. But I think the offenses are closer than the defenses, who are basically night and day. So I will back the much better defense, especially at home here. I love the Jets. I bet on them to win the Super Bowl a couple weeks ago. That's probably not going to happen because their path to the playoffs can be a little tough at this point.
Might be a year early.
It might be a year early. But I like this Jets team, man. And I think it is also a little bit of a sell high spot in the Lions. I think everyone's all over the Lions now, deservedly so, because they've won 4 or 5 games in a row now. They've looked great. But now I think they're getting a little bit overvalued from the betting market. So I think now is the time to get off the Lions train. I'll take Jets -1, just a 1-point spread.
Yeah, I want to see Mike White injury report because he got destroyed in the Bills game, multiple times, had to leave the game because he was getting destroyed. So I want to see that. I agree with you. I'm probably gonna have a bet on the Jets in some form or fashion. But I want to look this up, but Jared Goff in cold weather games, I know, is a thing. I know that he struggles in cold weather. Like I just said, I thought it was going to be snowing. I think it's going to be snowing on Friday in the New York area. It's going to be 38 degrees. Definitely qualifies as a cold weather game. So I wonder how Goff's going to react to that because He's playing really well. I gotta give him credit. I make fun of him. I call him Jared Goof. But he's been good. I gotta give credit to the Lions. I didn't see this coming from them. This Jets defense is going to be, it's a step up in class from the Jaguars defense, the Vikings defense. So I think that I like the Jets at home as well as a pick 'em. I think you said it best. This is a sell high spot on the Lions after, Dan Campbell, second choice to win coach of the year now. Lions playoff hype everywhere because a lot of the NFC teams are falling off. We'll see, but I like the Jets quite a bit. I think things are setting up for a Jets-Dolphins. I got to see what the actual, what needs to happen. But Jets-Dolphins, I believe, is week 18, and that's setting up to be a winner go home spot. Dolphins lost the first game to the Jets. So this is a big game. Dolphins might be in trouble down the stretch, in my opinion. But that game would be in Miami in week 18. So interesting.
Lost to the Jets by a lot, 40-17. To be fair, Tua did not play that game. That was Skylar Thompson. So obviously that's going to make a difference. But Mike White didn't play that game either. He's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. So people are talking.
We'll see. I like that bet, though. I'm with you. I'll have a bet on the Jets in some form or fashion.
Yeah, Dolphins.
I don't think that's another one you need to rush to bet right now. I think
the line is actually flipped. So I bet this. Today's Tuesday? I bet this yesterday or maybe even Sunday night. And now Jets are actually +1 at most places.
Yeah, I think it's going to live in this range of yeah. It's the same thing. The Raiders, Pats could probably be a pick. I think close spread. It's not one you need to get to your screen right now and bet this one.
Yep, you're right. But there we go. Those are early leans for NFL Week 15. Let's talk game of the night. It is Warriors in Milwaukee taking on the Bucks. Listen, I've made it very vocal on the show. I'm not a huge NBA guy. I don't watch NBA hardly at all. I was shocked, Reed. I looked at the standings today to study up a pick for this game. The Golden State Warriors, outside of a playoff spot right now, 9th in the National Basketball Association. What happened to the Warriors?
Before I answer that, did you also see who was 4th place in the Eastern Conference and a game out of a half game out of 3rd place in the Eastern Conference? Did you notice that?
I see it's the Brooklyn Nets.
Oh, okay, cool. Anyway, about the Warriors. No, they're in the playing game right now. It's very, very congested though between the top and bottom. What is it, 3-4 games between everyone? So the Warriors stumbled out of the gate. It looked like they figured it out, then they stumbled again. So it's been a little choppy. I think the youth movement going on with also the Steph, Clay, Draymond core, there's been some growing pains here, and I think that's normal for a team that knows they have the switch to flip and they know what it takes to win a playoff series, especially with this core of players. So I think it's been a slower start than expected, and it's been prolonged at that. But I believe the Warriors starting lineup is still top 5 in terms of net rating amongst starting lineups. So this is still an elite core. It's just the depth, and that's what gets tested in the regular season. That hasn't really panned out for them. It's been a struggle. James Wiseman's back in the G League. Jordan Poole got his big contract, also got punched in the face. He's been a little sloppy out of the gate. So there's still some growing pains here. And now they're going to Milwaukee to face a Bucks team that defensive player of the year favorite, Brook Lopez. I think he's kind of getting the recognition in the market, but this is just a full unit here with the Bucks. Number 1 defense in terms of points allowed per 100 possessions. Just 3 nights ago, the Warriors were catching 2.5 against the Boston Celtics. Granted, the Boston Celtics are the highest, that's number 1 in power rating. It's the Boston Celtics. They were 2.5-point home underdogs in that game. I know they won, but this is quite the adjustment, in my opinion, to now go on the road to face a Milwaukee team that's fantastic at home. They're 10-5 at home against the spread. I like Milwaukee, as you can see on the graphic. I took Milwaukee -4. Another thing to keep in mind, Warriors 3-10 against the spread on the road this season. Again, that youth not really showing up on the road, and they're facing the best D in the league. So I like the Bucks to win this one comfortably, and I think that still going to take some time for the Warriors to figure it out. But they'll be fine come playoff time.
Yeah, home and away splits, just straight up numbers here, not against the spread, just straight up. 12-2 at home, 2-11 on the road. Holy moly. Not exactly what I would call road Warriors.
Yeah. No.
3-10 against the spread on the road?
Yeah.
Not good.
No.
Not good at all. All right. Whenever I got to bet on the NBA because it's game of the night, I keep things pretty simple here. So that's what I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to take a player prop and take Brook Lopez, the former Brooklyn Net. Over 5.5 rebounds. Pretty straightforward. Like I said, he's averaging 5.9 rebounds per game. He surpassed his number in 5 of his last 6 games. And the Warriors, one of their biggest weaknesses is rebounding. 25th in rebounding rate in the NBA, grabbing 48.8% of boards. So I will take the big man for the Bucks to grab at least 6 boards tonight, minus 125. Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, don't hate it. I believe, he still got to be. Nets all-time leader in scoring, Brook Lopez.
There you go. All-time leader?
Yeah, Nets franchise record. Nets franchise record. He played for the Nets for like 8 years. Brook Lopez, number 11 pick in the 2007 draft. God, I am a lunatic. Let me see. Yeah, he was 2008 draft. He was the 10th pick, so I was off by 1 on each. But Nets, I'm pretty sure he's the franchise all-time leading scorer. He played 9 seasons with the team. Brook Lopez. He scored 10,444 points of the Nets. I mean, Brook Lopez. I mean, people forget that he was a bucket back in the day. I mean, he used to average regularly like 18, 20 points a game, which wasn't that common for big men back in the day.
All right, without you looking at it, look away from the screen. One more Brook Lopez trivia question. What school did he go to?
Oh, Stanford.
Okay, there you go.
That's an easy one. Come on, that's an easy one.
I don't know. It would have been easy for me. I wouldn't have got it. Best Pie Eater is in the chat. It says Warriors money line plus 150. Ooh. How about that? Hey, Best Pie Eater, if you're still there, what is the best pie to eat? Mine would be coconut cream pie is my favorite.
I'm an apple pie. I'm a man of simple pleasures.
That's as straightforward as it gets.
Yeah, simple.
Also, like a pecan pie is pretty tasty.
Blueberry?
No, I don't like blueberry. I don't like berries.
Don't like berries. Interesting. Apple's like far and away mine. Like an apple crumb pie. Oh.
My first job was picking strawberries in a strawberry field. You're allowed to just eat the strawberries as much as you want, and I never would eat any of them because I don't like them. So did you try it and did you start eating them and then you realized that you weren't interested, like you got like sick of them? No, I just don't. I don't like berries. I don't know what it is about them. Also, peanut. I don't like raspberries. I like pretty much every other berry. I don't like raspberries. Strawberry plants, the leaves of strawberry plants smell like peanut butter. A little bit of a fun fact for you. Fun fact, I hate peanut butter. Okay, this is like my least favorite. Like I used to like that's the hottest take I've ever heard. On like field trips and stuff where they'd give you like, you know, like the sandwiches and stuff, and like there's like a peanut butter option or the other option. I would be like, I'm allergic. I can't have the peanut butter and take the other one. Insane. You're insane. Best Pie Eater says he also likes the classic apple pie. He said, yes, Warriors plus 150. No wonder they are plus 150 hearing those road splits. Don't back out now, Pie Eater. You're on the Warriors. No, stick to your guns. He also chimes in, I don't mind a strawberry rhubarb pie. Not to go back to my strawberry picking days, but there was an order of things that you could pick, and if you were a really good strawberry picker, you got drafted to the Raspberry League, and you were allowed to pick raspberries, which you could make more money picking raspberries. And then the best of the best, so they get the best strawberry pickers do raspberry pickers, and then the best raspberry pickers got to harvest rhubarb, which you could make a lot of money doing. Did you make it to the raspberry? I got drafted to the Raspberry League, but right in the middle of the season, I was gone to summer camp for 2 weeks, so I had to decline the opportunity, unfortunately. But I did get the offer. At least you got the offer. You got the offer sheet. Yeah, I was one of the prouder moments of my life. I don't think I could have made it to the Rhubarb League. That was a little bit out of my league. I think you have to like cut those with like a knife. I was probably too young to do that anyway, but raspberry pickers have a strong union or something. No, it's just the reason why is because raspberries are super, super soft. So I was going to say, when picking them, so that's strawberries a little bit rougher. So they try to get the best and most consistent straw because they examine when you pick strawberries and you bring up the basket, they examine them and look through to make sure you're not like putting rocks in the basket or something to try to cheat your way through. So if they look at your strawberries and say that there's no like squish marks or any, then they'll take a little mental note and be like, hey, this guy might be able to pick raspberries. They're scouting, but like you can't just let any jabroni pick the raspberries. I mean, this is like a legit job here. Yeah, that's insane. They're gonna squish them. Nobody wants squished raspberries in the market. Hey, kidding me? Yeah, Jesus. All right, this show has completely gone off the rails. The community pick is the Bucks -4, so you were on the same side as the community pick tonight, Reed. Community was wrong last night. I was against them. I was on the Patriots. Community was on the Cardinals. So 0-1 start to the community. Let's hope they get a win tonight.
Yeah, let's do it. Go Bucks with Brook Lopez rebounds.
Yes. All right, perfect. That is our show. Thank you all so much for watching. Give this video a like. That helps us out. Give us a little subscribe. That helps us out even more. And now go watch the early read from today with Chris Fleeka, the Bear, if you haven't watched that already. Did you ask him about the Bear, the new show? Isn't there a new show called The Bear?
Did not. I don't believe it. I don't believe it was based off of his life.
No, it's no. Well, no, unless he's like a famous chef. No, it's not.
They did not come up in conversation, but
he has the trademark. They stole it.
We did hand out though a bunch of bowl winners, and we had a great regular season. So I plan on capping it off with a great postseason.
Beautiful. All right. Any final thoughts after that?
No, just go check out the early read and get in on those bets because the lines they tend to move quite a bit the week of the game. So make sure you get those in and like and subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yes, thank you all so much for watching. Good luck tonight. Gamble or bless. We'll talk to you tomorrow.